Hey, this is Ciara Hanna, the Yellow Ranger, and you're watching Airlim.
Are we sure everyone is up here?
I know.
Just want to make sure we're not missing any equipment.
I know. Modern technology. Look at this.
So after I retired from doing Star Wars, oh wait, sorry, wrong life.
That's hilarious.
I have no filters, so anybody want to start?
Everyone ready? All good?
Yeah, all good.
Guys, I guess kicking off with the obvious question, of all the TV shows, of all the franchises, what is it about Power Rangers that seems to keep it living on from generation to generation? Why do people all around the world seem to love and connect with the show the way they do?
Ooh, I know.
Oh, sorry.
Go for it.
I think it's Austin St. John, and because he's an amazing guy, and Ken Ashley and David Yost, they made the difference in the show. They just made the show so amazing.
We'll pay him later.
All right, okay. No, I think it was dinosaurs. It was dinosaurs. It was gymnastics. It was martial arts. It was a diverse group of kids together as a friends, like really close friends, that were overcoming the evils of the world and helping to bring goodness about.
Yeah.
I think Karen summed it up real well.
Yeah?
It was rated G with extra cheese.
That's right. And plus everybody, all were teenagers with attitude, and so I think all kids at some point in their life wanted to be a superhero, and this was the show that actually showed some kids being a superhero. So it was like our greatest dream was fulfilled.
Following on from that, obviously the film's just been out. What did you think of that when seeing it?
If that had been my Rita, it wouldn't have been green with evil, it would have been red with evil, because I would have converted. I would have been the bad guy if that had been my Rita.
Yeah.
So
Elizabeth Banks killed it. She was awesome.
Yeah.
she was hot.
Yeah.
They were all awesome. It was such a good movie. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was amazing, and they did a really good job.
Special effects were insane.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
You could go back and talk to yourselves back then when you were making that show, and you had like all the knowledge that you've had up until now. What would you tell yourselves?
how long would I have? 5 minutes. Whew.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just say, from an actor standpoint, just to believe more in myself. You get into the industry and you start working, and sometimes you start doubting yourself because you're confused. But also, I would really want to make sure that my younger self understood to enjoy the ride, because we shot to stardom and shot to fame so quickly once it started airing, and there was so much going on, and it's hard to take it all in. And suddenly you have action figures of yourself, and you're on posters, and people are carrying your picture around at school, and there's stickers, and all the toys, the millions of toys that have been made. I just really would have wanted myself to just really try to understand that more and enjoy it more, because it's so awesome and humbling for us. Here we are 20 years later, and to look back on all that we've been through as a cast and stuff and growing together, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I think I just would have told myself to have a little more patience. Slow down. Just slow down.
Yeah. Stop and smell the roses. He's right. It just went so fast, and I would have liked to have had a moment to just kind of take it all in, But yeah, it was great. So.
Yeah. I think I would have told myself, buy some property.
Steal the
That would have been
helmet.
good.
Steal your communicator.
Get your suit.
Take some of the
suit.
props.
And your
Take some
helmet.
of the
Take it
props.
home
And go
with
to
you.
Toys R Us every week and
They
buy
won't
the
get mad at
toys.
you.
They'll be worth a lot later.
And that night that you go to the Roxbury, don't put her phone number in your back pocket. You're gonna lose it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't do that.
Back in the day when you used to write your numbers on
When you
paper.
text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it wasn't like just text me.
Text
Can you
me.
airdrop me your number?
Yeah.
No, it was like,
Can you
buzz
get
me,
an
hit me
idea?
on my pager.
Hit me up on Instagram. I'm not gonna give you my number.
That was a while ago, right? I guess it was, yeah.
Crazy.
How do you work as a team so well when you're doing the set?
That's so cool.
I think it takes
Good
a bit of
question.
trust, a trust in your friends, a trust in your team, and a bit of faith in the people that you've chosen as friends and that have chosen you. And I think through that, you can sit down with a bit more ease, even in tough situations, and really develop a sense of unity and direction. So when did you sneak in here, little one?
She's my mini reporter.
Yay!
That was a
She's
great
awesome.
job. That was an
Yeah.
excellent question.
She's
Excellent
amazing.
question.
That was pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
That's why she's wearing Wonder Woman.
I
Yeah.
know, right?
Go team.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So cute.
How was it like to be a Power Ranger?
It was amazing. It was, for me, it was really cool because I was a girl and a female superhero, and I got to save the day just as much as these guys did. So it was awesome. And I got to meet a lot of good friends, like literally all of our Power Ranger friends, people that were in our cast, people that weren't, the ones who have come after, we're all family. So it's like I have a whole set of friends that instantly when we see each other, we just want to hang out, get a drink, have dinner, you know. So it's really cool. Good question.
I guess at the moment, with the success of the new film and the fact that the original series are now all on Netflix, are you finding that there's a new generation of younger fans who are discovering you guys for the first time?
Absolutely. I mean, it's the oddest thing to have 3 generations of fans at this point. I mean, I really do feel like we kind of catapulted into the icon phase. It's like, I mean, the fact that we have comic books with Marvel heroes like Superman and Batman, and it's like we're in print now with the people that we've grown up with as legends and heroes. You know, like Superman is one of my biggest idols, and there's a comic book with me talking to Superman. I'm like, I'm talking to Superman. This is it's crazy, you know. So
I got Wonder Woman.
Oh, you
Wonder
lucked
Woman,
out.
Aquaman, Cyborg, everybody. So it's pretty incredible. We get people to come to our table, and you don't know who to talk to because there's little kids, right? And the little kids are like, we gravitate to them right away. But then you look at the parents, and the parents are actually the ones that are like, oh my God.
Try not to burst out of their skin.
Yeah, 'cause they
They're like,
really grew up with us. They
The
played-
autographs for me.
Yeah, exactly.
We're like, oh, my bad.
And then their parents will be there.
Yeah, their
So,
parents.
you
They
know,
watched it with them.
3 generations, and it's
I mean, I'm only 24, so I don't know how that worked out. How I don't know.
24 for life.
There you go.
With the new movie being kind of a lot darker than the original, what was your reaction to seeing sort of the interpretation of the modern Power Rangers compared to, as you say, the rated G with cheese?
I was really happy with what they did with the characters. I thought they really brought them into 2017, and they're really taking on issues like the character of Billy being on the spectrum, as they say, you know, dealing with autism. And it's alluded that the Yellow Ranger is questioning her sexuality and all that. So I like that they're sort of putting it out there for kind of an older audience, and really kind of, and there's still a ethnically diverse group of kids coming together. So I was really blown away, and I'm really happy with the way that it's gone, and I hope a sequel happens.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think it's the natural progression of things too. I mean, if you go back and look at the original Batman and Robin, pow bang boom, and today we have the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, next year when they do the next 10 sequels, because it's not going to be in 20 years, because I'm not going to age that much. I'm pretty excited to see where it is then.
Did you ever see the short film that went?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I loved it. I mean, I just thought it was cool. I mean, obviously it wasn't Power Rangers, because I feel like, you know, it was a little violent. But, I mean, we're all grown up. So for all of us that have grown up with the show, it's awesome to see. But, you know, again, you know, I'd never thought about it, but these guys brought it up. They were like, well, you know, that's, you know, they have kids, you know, and that would be tough for a kid to see. So I really liked the new movie, because I felt like it really rode the line nicely with taking it to the future, but also keeping it so that your kids could go see it, you know? It needs to stay there, so I liked it.
Throughout the original series, you faced a huge variety of villains and so on. What were your favorite villains that you come across?
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hundreds.
Like, was it like minions, like the big guys in the rubber suits?
The putties.
Yeah. I think the putties were the unsung heroes of the entire first
Hilarious.
200 episodes.
They never give up.
You know,
Yeah.
they never
They're
get
like
credit,
roaches.
but man, we beat the snot out of those guys like
Regularly.
all day long. So, for me, it would have been Goldar, because I fought him like it was my job. So,
I would say like Eye Guy I thought was really cool, because it was like a monster full of eyes. Pudgy Pig was kind of neat because he ate all the Rangers. And then, you know, there's so many interesting ones. Like we fought a lipstick. We fought a purse.
We fought a purse.
Like everything, anything that could turn into a monster turned
your
into
phone
a
could've
monster.
been.
Yeah.
Soccer
A
ball.
pachinko machine.
Soccer
Soccer
ball.
ball. crazy.
Like,
So-
how did that go at the table? You know, they're sitting down, right? And you're like, guys, we got to come up with another monster. And the last person in was late. She drops her purse on, and somebody goes, I got it! And it was a big pink purse. And I was-
Yeah.
That craziness kind of coming from Japan. Did you guys ever watch the original for research?
Not until later.
Yeah.
It was shown to us later. Like, this is where it's coming from, because Ham Saban had bought the show in Japan, bought the Japan show, and I don't think we even knew what it was going to be. I had no idea what it was going to look like until after I saw the pilot, and I was like, oh, that's the heroes. Okay, that's what okay. Now I get it. Oh, we're superheroes. But yeah, originally from the scripts, I think we had no idea what it was going to be like.
No, and our show is completely different, obviously, than the Japanese one. The Japanese is a lot darker, bloodier, and scarier.
People died in that one.
Yeah, people die in that. So
people die.
Yeah.
That happens.
And wasn't the Green Ranger and Red Ranger brothers or something like that?
Yeah, he originally died. That's why they did the whole depowering thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so interesting. Yes.
In terms of like the schedule, because there's been loads of rumors about what the schedule was like. You know, Jason Frank talked about it, how grueling it was. How did you guys cope with that? Because it's, you know, as an actor myself, it must have been daunting to go through something like that.
Well, we were teenagers with attitude.
In theory.
In theory.
It was long. I mean, it was like the longest day. Like you'd go to work, it was dark, you'd go home, it was dark, and we just worked. And luckily for us, we all got along, you know, and we just put in the work. But yeah, it was like a soap. Like back then the show came on every day, so I mean, it wasn't anything for us to do 4 episodes, 5 episodes every 2 weeks. Like that was kind of the schedule. And when we got on the show, we were a little behind schedule, and I mean, it was just crazy. But I think it's like the good, the bad, the ugly. Like literally everything I've worked on since has been easy. Like I'm like, what? Oh, we're gonna work on a show for a whole week? That's nothing, you know? So it breaks you in.
Yep.
I think obviously fans have their favourite bits of trivia, little details about the show. I think one of the ones that went viral and people really enjoyed was finding out that Bryan Cranston lent his voice to a number of the more memorable monsters. Do you guys have bits of trivia like that, or little things that you like to wheel out when you're talking to hardcore fans about the show?
I think in the beginning, a lot of people, I mean, when Dave and Walt and I auditioned, the show was originally, I mean, it was advertised in an LA newspaper, so it was an open casting call, and I mean, 500,000 starving actors in Hollywood. I don't have to tell you how many showed up for the auditions. But the show was originally called Phantoms in the audition. And my character was originally called Victor. So it felt like a soap opera to me, you know, as the Rangers turn, you know.
They see the cursed emerald.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the fans give us more trivia than we even know. Like, people always ask us questions. I'm like, really, that? Or tell us stuff, and I'm like, really, that happened?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. They know way more than we do.
They know more than we do, so they tell us the trivia as opposed to us having any real trivia, other than, like, in the early stages of how it was going. Like when
we were young.
When we were young. But yeah, the original pilot that we filmed was so different than really what aired, because in the original pilot, like when we morph, it's like our face, and then our face turns into a dinosaur. It looked, you know, all these weird
Horrible.
stuff.
Watch that. I've never seen it.
Oh, it's ugly.
It's ugly.
It's ugly.
It's not pretty
We'll
at
have a
all.
viewing party.
Yeah.
Do any of you guys ever get your own action figures and kind of look at it and go, oh my god, there's an action figure of me?
Yeah, when we first got the ones where our heads actually turn and
the flips.
It didn't really look like me too much, but I knew it was supposed to be. I was like, that's me, but with a square face. Okay. But I took it home and I was like looking at him like, it's Morphin time. It's Morphin time. I just kept doing it all day. I was like, hey, that's so cool, you know. Before the show came out, I was walking through Venice Beach and some kids ran up on me, and we had done the pilot. We hadn't really done this show. The show hadn't come out yet. But some kids ran up on me and like, you're the Black Ranger. I'm like, yeah, how do you know? And they were like, I just bought your toy yesterday and your face is on the box.
Oh my God.
I have a toy? And like, yeah. And they're like,
That
my
was
face is
before
on the
you
box.
came out?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
like,
funny.
I was talking to my cousin, like, I got a toy, my face is on the box.
I feel so
excited.
cool.
Yeah, I was like, wow, all right. This is going to be a different experience. Yeah.
Do you still have that figure? One of the different?
I do.
Do you?
I do. I have them all.
It's pretty crazy how many action figures have come out now, and like we have all these
Tons of
pops now, and all these little loyal subjects, and there's so many versions. Adorbs.
Yeah.
So it's pretty awesome and humbling to have so many things, and fans give them to us as well. So I have a whole like shelf in my house just full of everything that you could possibly think of.
You
Best
can
gifts.
get tired of looking at yourself.
Yes, it does get old.
I think obviously in the rush to embrace that excitement, your faces ended up on a lot of different products, a lot of different things. Do you have any particular favorites in terms of the weirder stuff, the weirder tie-ins, or like, I mean, you say you've got a pretty big collection. Is there anything that you look at and think, why did they do that?
Oh, there's so many
Every
things.
day.
Jelly beans.
The jelly beans,
Popcorn.
bath soap,
Bar soaps, yeah, I remember that.
I came across these things that you put on your tennis shoes, like you hook them onto your shoelaces,
Oh.
and they're just like Power Rangers that hook onto your tennis shoes. And I'm like, why would somebody want that?
I saw it.
But they bought them.
I saw it on a Twinkie once, and I remember having the thought, that Twinkie might be the only thing on earth that outlasts the show. I was like, that's a great pairing right there.
Yes.
But Twinkies are good though.
They are good.
Did you get to keep anything from the show?
I didn't. I should have.
If you stole it, you kept something, but I was honest, and I wish I would have known it was steal something day, because I would have taken all kinds of stuff.
I did steal,
David.
I can't believe it.
but it was because of Jason David Frank. He
Blame
told
him.
me. He blamed me. I mean, he told me to. But
The
no,
devil
when
made
we
me
were
do it.
filming the movie in Australia on our final day of filming, Jason, Amy, and I had a flight in New York. And so we filmed, and then they drove us straight to the airport, whatever. And Jason's just like, just take your ninja outfit and just put it in your suitcase. They'll never catch you, because we're going straight to the airport. So I did take it, and I still have that hanging up in my house. But otherwise, we did not get anything.
No.
No party gifts.
They locked it all up and didn't share too much with us.
It's sitting in Haim's personal closet somewhere.
Maybe.
I do happen to have the neon sign from Ernest Juice
Yeah,
Bar,
you
though.
did end up with that, right?
When did you all realise, when yourself, you was talking about the action figure, when was it that you yourselves realised that you were really onto something really big? That it was going to be this phenomenon that captured the imagination of children all over the world? When was it for you personally that you realised this?
I think for the original cast, when we went in Los Angeles, we did a show at Universal Studios in Hollywood. And we were only scheduled to go in the morning and do one show.
In the smaller theater.
In a very small theater. But within an hour or two, we had sold out Universal Studios, and we had created a massive traffic jam in Los Angeles where we shut down the freeway, and they say 10 miles in each direction. So that's pretty crazy. Just shut down Universal Studios and to cause that kind of a traffic jam in the United States. So that's sort of when we started in our head going, oh, wow, this is bigger than we even can comprehend.
Who knew? Yeah.
Who knew? So, go ahead.
Yeah, that's back when, Tom Brokaw was still on the air. And I can remember seeing, I think we got a clip of it later.
Yeah, nightly news.
Yeah. And
national news.
I was watching it, and they were like, so, blah, 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 Nancy Kerrigan, and what could beat that story? Well, the Power Rangers. And I was like, and here we go, and there's aerial shots of the highway jammed into downtown. We broke Universal attendance records.
Yeah.
I think we're the only show to do it.
Yep.
Wow.
And went from one show to six.
Seven.
From the seven? Was it seven? From the smallest theater to the biggest one they had. And I remember at some point they had toy stands, I think, that sold out, and people were pissed.
They were upset.
Anyway, and I heard stories about, there being fights that broke out over it, and I was like, now, parents, that's not a very good example.
Yeah.
But good job. And, so
When you actually got home and shut that door, did you literally just go, oh my word, what's just happened?
It was such a surreal day, I'm sure, for all of us, because I'm sure, as Walter and Austin will tell you, when we went out on the stage, it's like, that was the first time we ever got to experience what it's like to be a rock star, because all the flashes are going, and you hear little kids just screaming for us, it was crazy.
He dons the power of the mastodon. He is Zach, the Black Ranger. Whoa, did you feel that?
The building was vibrating.
We were literally shaking. It was like, after the energy was so intense, it was like you felt it in your whole body, and you were like, that was crazy. I think we came off stage and we were looking at each other like, did you feel that? It was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we did it 7 times, and I think each time the theater holds 5,000 or 6,000 people, so it's pretty, it was pretty intense.
Yeah.
Before you auditioned for the show, what did you want to be when you were younger?
It's a good question. I've always wanted to be an actress. So yeah, I mean, I think if I wouldn't have been, I probably wanted to go to school to be a filmmaker. So I was actually just got accepted into college, and I was going to go to film school, and I went to an audition, and 4 days later I was a Power Ranger. So
Sounds fun.
Sounds fun, very fun.
I always wanted to be an actor too, since I was 7. So.
Yeah.
I wanted to be Chuck Norris.
You're close. You pretty much did that.
Yeah.
Just a
I'm working
teenage
on the
version.
beard.
Yeah.
Maybe soon.
No, I always wanted to be an actor as well. I'd gone to a school of performing arts and obtained a degree in musical theater, BFA, and and so I've been working already as a singer and a dancer and an actor, but I was doing a lot of dancing. And then when this came up, I had gotten off cruise ships, got an agent, and Power Rangers came and it was like, I got a TV show, I'm excited,
If you could play a different Power Ranger, which colour would you pick and why?
I'd be the black. Yeah. Oh, that's who I am. I would do it again. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think any of us could imagine changing the character that we actually played or would want to even go there, because I think for all of us, like, our characters are so close to our hearts, and the colors and everything. Like, for me, I feel like I ended it up exactly where I was supposed to be, and I played the character that I was supposed to play, and it was such an awesome experience in so many ways that I don't want to think about, if I could be this person or that person. So I'm happy with Billy.
Not many people.
Go.
Not many people, I think, have the incredible fortune that we have, and not fortune as in monetary, but fortune as in 40 countries, 90 languages around the world. We can go anywhere, and we can spend all day talking to people, and all we hear about is how much they love our work.
Yeah.
That doesn't suck.
Yeah.
So
it's a great job.
To be able to imagine doing it any other way, when there's, almost no criticism ever. Grown men break down into tears and snot on the shoulders, and grown women doing the same thing. It maybe being Santa Claus, I don't know, but I can't imagine how it gets better than that.
Yeah. People always ask us, like, do you meet weird fans? And I go, no, we're in the good news business. Like, every person that walks up to our table turns 5 years old again. So it's like, we just hear all these amazing stories, and I think now we stop and we're having a chance to smell the roses, because now we realize what it meant to all of you and how it changed your life, because we were living our dream becoming actors, but you didn't ever think that 24 years later, here we'd be in London talking about Power Rangers. That's pretty cool.
And now you guys vocalize it. Before it was like you were kids and you were shy, and it was like, hey, little boy, and you're like, I can't see him, he's too rich.
Or they start crying.
But now you're adults, and you come in and you tell us these stories about how we improved your life in some way. You made me want to be a martial artist. You made me want to join the military. You made me into a scientist. You made me become a dance instructor. You made me desire to be more than what I was. To hear that from you guys is amazing.
I think I just got the...
Thank
you very much.
That's it.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you guys.
thank you guys.
Great job.
Appreciate it.
Great job, girls and guys.